Hi, my name is Bob Taylor, and I'm your host for this segment of Our Ventura TV. I'm here today with my guest, Pattie Braga, and we're here today to talk about Ventura Chamber of Commerce. Good afternoon, Pattie. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, the Ventura Chamber. Please explain the Ventura Chamber of Commerce to me and what they do.
The Ventura Chamber is a group of usually businesses predominantly, but there's a lot of not-for-profits and individuals that are also members. And they collaborate and work together to really make sure that legislation that is passed, that is focused on businesses and pro-business in a lot of ways. It also works a lot within the community to host events, to bring tourism dollars into whichever city you're in. They also work closely so that we can network and do business among each other.
Okay, so it's business oriented. So things that are good for business are good for basically good for the
A
chamber.
lot of times, things that are good for business are good for the community. So yeah, we partner and we focus on that kind of idea and combining the two.
Okay. And what part of the chamber do you work under, or do you work with?
So I'm on the board of the chamber. I'm not a staff, but I am one of the 23 board members at the Ventura Chamber of Commerce, and we focus on. We all work together and we set the agenda, and we focus on hiring staff and keeping wonderful staff that we currently have on board to promote not only our city of Ventura, but all the wonderful businesses that we represent. And I believe the Ventura Chamber has, my CEO is going to get upset with me. I think it's 435 businesses within the Ventura Chamber.
Give or take one or two.
Give or take one or two. That's my disclaimer.
And so the businesses all work with you guys, or become members for those different benefits that you talk about.
And a lot of people join for different reasons. Some people join a chamber, whether it's Ventura, Camarillo, Moore Park, they join a chamber so that they can have networking opportunities, whether it's breakfast, whether it's, doing business with each other, getting their name out and promoting other businesses. Some people do it for our PAC, which is our Political Action Committee. We do, they want legislation that's going to be able to support them. If you're in a manufacturing, industry and you feel like you're not being represented, joining the chamber, joining the PAC, having that voice, and having that stronger voice of those 200 or so members makes it all the better. Some people join for various reasons.
No, that's got to be tough, because you get any board with 23 people, anything that's political, you're going to have differences of opinion.
Of course you are. But when you're in that role, I'm really looking at what's going to be best for my community at large and what's going to be best for the businesses in the area. I personally may have a different feeling, and I'm sure board members have, previously have, really struggled with some of the positions that they've had to take. Ultimately, you're there as a representative of your business. And so what's going to be best for that? And that's what we try to focus on. And a lot of times, having that dissenting voice, really brings clarity to maybe others. So it's not just a rubber stamp group. I love that my chamber, the Ventura Chamber, we're able to have a really open dialogue and hear different voices.
How many things, and you're extremely open-minded, I know you, so you can look at something and say, okay, this might not be something I agree with, but this is what's best for our community, or best for our city, or best for our businesses. You can do that. Now, a lot of people can't do that. All they can do is see what's important to them at the time and can't see the repercussions of things in the future. How does that work on the board? Or do those people eventually just kind of filter themselves off?
Well, I have to say we have a really strong board, and so a lot of times if
so you do have those discussions, don't you? You can tell by the way you said that.
Well, we have a very strong board,
which is good.
And sometimes when you have voices of individuals who feel very strongly about something, but maybe don't see any other perspective but their own. We have a very healthy board, and we have a very open board. And what that means is, sometimes it can be animated, it can get a little heated, but that's the thing I love about it, because I would never have thought this way. And so now that I've heard that and I take that into consideration, and then I go, okay, well then this is what I'm going to do here because I don't agree with this. And everyone's allowed to have that voice. No one is stifled. And sometimes maybe you want someone stifled, but we can be there and we can be together and we can be open. And I love that about it.
I guess when you have 435 businesses that are part of your
Not everyone's going to agree.
Not everybody is going to agree on stuff.
Which again, I'm going back. What the hat you have to put on is what's going to be best for the businesses in the long run, what's going to be best for our city, what does growth look like, what does the water issues that we're having look like, what do all these things look like from a business perspective.
Okay,
It's
now,
tough.
so you are a business, now, are you guys tied up with anything like, what is that, the Better Business Bureau or anything like that? So
They're a
that's
separate
totally separate
organization.
entity, nothing to do with those whatsoever. And all cities have a chamber?
Most cities have a chamber. For example, here in our area, there's the Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park, Westlake area. Now, they don't individually have separate chambers, but they do have what's called a Conejo chamber, and it kind of encompasses that area. But most cities, predominantly that meet a certain threshold of size, are able to have a functioning chamber.
Okay, I do have a couple other questions to get off to, but right now, if somebody wanted to get involved in the chamber, whether they wanted to get involved because they don't like the way your PAC works and wants to get involved because of that, or they want to get involved because they want to help their community, as from a volunteer basis or that kind of thing, how would somebody do that?
So first of all, we want membership. So if you have a voice and you feel it's not being heard, or if you want to come in and support what we're doing, then you join.
What if you want to come in and, do you want to be a member to not support what you're doing or to speak against what you're doing? Can you still join for that reason?
You can absolutely join.
As a community advocate?
Exactly. You can, and actually, we do have many community advocates out there. We have a.
So you don't have to be a business?
You can be a community member that joins the chamber.
Okay.
And then we also have businesses that are just one employee, and we also have businesses that are 500 employees. You can also join as a not-for-profit. We have these different areas and different levels which you can join, and you can always rally against whatever you don't want, whatever
Right.
it's a chamber or a function or anything. That's one of the great things about America. We're allowed to protest.
But it's easier to do it if you're a member of something.
It can be. So we ask that if you're going to involve yourself or if you want a voice at our table, that you join, whether it's a positive voice, whether it's a negative voice, whether you want to join this program or get involved with this, you join and then work with us, hopefully.
And then from membership, you elect a board.
Correct.
Okay, and then how long is a board term good for?
2 years. 2 years is usually average, I think, and I believe I can serve up to 8 years, and then I have to take a
2-year
little
terms.
off. I've been on, I believe, about 4 years now. And but I recently came off the Ventura Commerce and Education Foundation board. Now that's the not-for-profit arm of the Ventura Chamber.
It's part of the Ventura Chamber.
It is part of the Ventura Chamber. So the Ventura Chamber does all those wonderful things I talked about, but not only that, they also have a not-for-profit underneath
so
that.
the Ventura Chamber itself is not a nonprofit.
It's a 501c6.
So it's a not-for-profit.
Correct.
Okay, so then the little branches under that
Wow,
could be.
you're making me sweat.
Right.
I got to get all those numbers right.
Well, the only
Yeah,
two
there
I
you go.
understand are 501c3
Okay,
and
those are the only two I
501c6.
know.
Those are the only
Okay.
two I know. So you're safe so
Okay.
far. If somebody said a 501c5, we'd both be in
No,
trouble.
we'd both be lost.
Okay, so the part you were just talking about that you came off of, education part or teacher's part.
Correct.
What was that you were?
So most chambers have a fundraising arm, or a not-for-profit arm for all the good works that they do. Because a lot of chambers might be focused on the business, but again, they're focused on the community. And to get involved with the community, let's do some great things.
Right.
And so the Ventura Chamber has the Ventura Commerce and Education Foundation, which has 3 focuses. One is their leadership program. One is their partnering with the education area. And that's more, one-on-one level kind of work. And then we also have what's called an Aspire program. So 2 education and then 1 leadership. Now, Ventura Leadership is a 9-month program. It's 1 day every month, I believe. It goes August to May, ish. And, you basically get a crash course on everything Ventura. And I know that other cities have this too, where you kind of cover water and you cover trash and you cover education and you cover manufacturing. So you get, this dynamic crash course of all aspects
It's
of
kind
Ventura.
of almost like the Ventura County Leadership Academy.
It is, except on a smaller scale.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's strictly
absolutely.
Ventura, where Ventura County Leadership Academy
Covers the
encompasses the whole
county,
county.
correct. Good, yeah, absolutely. And then we have the Aspire program, which is run by, some fantastic friends of mine that work with kind of workforce development. So how can our schools and our business community partner together so that we can educate our kids to get jobs here.
In the community.
In the community, so they don't have to leave.
We are missing so much of that.
Unfortunately, and we have some great business partners that we work with and some incredible volunteers that we work with to figure out that partnership and get internships going and to, find out where, what we can do better to work with the Ventura Unified School District so that we can make sure that there's a good collaboration there.
Right, okay, so you said the magic word a minute ago, volunteers. You're a volunteer on the
I
board.
am.
It's not a paid position. So
No.
you guys hire a few staff people.
We do.
And then all of the stuff you guys do is all volunteers.
Correct.
And you got, well, the members are not all necessarily volunteers. 'Cause
No.
they're not all doing things, they just join sometimes.
Exactly. And some people join and they never do anything and they just, continue to renew their membership and we appreciate them. And some people just don't want to get involved. And that's okay. Some people come in on a minimal level, they want this and this is what they get out of it. And some people really want to partner.
Right.
And really want to get involved, and so they network, they go to the mixers, they go to the expos that we host every spring and fall, and they volunteer.
Okay, so how many, just off the top of your head, I know you can't be exact on this, there's no way of knowing.
Okay.
How many volunteers would you say
The
work
chamber
under the
has?
Chamber of Commerce?
Oh, maybe 90 to 125.
Wow.
Yeah. We have some incredible ambassadors that not only get to promote their business, but they volunteer at events.
Oh, I see, so that's
And they
one of the programs you have as the ambassadors.
Exactly. We have some incredible people that do that. We have people that volunteer at our expo. We have people that volunteer with some of our not-for-profits. We have board members of the chamber who also serve on other area not-for-profits. And so of all the people that I see and that I'm involved with, I would say it's a pretty good chunk. I'm very impressed with what Ventura does.
It's kind of funny how you get involved with a nonprofit, you tend to see the same people at some of the same events
Yeah.
going around doing that kind of thing, because it's such a great thing.
And we love it. We love bringing in new. We love bringing in new. We will never turn a friendly volunteer face away.
Well, if you ever find a friendly volunteer face that you want to turn away, send them my way.
No.
Okay, we have 2 minutes.
Okay.
Number one, how would somebody find their local chamber? Google or?
So yeah, I would say the best thing to do is just to, type in Chamber of Commerce and then the city that you're in or the city that you're interested in. 9 times out of 10 there's going to be one. It'll come to the top of the Google list, and if it's for example, like Newberry Park, they don't have there, so it would be referred to as Conejo. But yeah, you reach out. If you're a business owner, if you're involved in the community, if you need to promote something, or you want to get involved in any way, then chambers are an incredible venue to do that to. Another thing to do is, let's say you're a tourist. If you go to Santa Monica and you don't really know the lay of the land, you can always Google Santa Monica Chamber of Commerce, and I guarantee you they're going to have stuff for tourists. They're going to have stuff for you to find out, like what events are going on. The chamber is so connected within the community. It's such a great resource to learn things and to get knowledge that in a quick, fast, easy way.
So it's not just the businesses, but it's also the city itself with what's going on and the
Exactly.
community itself.
Exactly.
So it's kind of the glue between business, city, and community.
It really is. It
All right.
really is.
So that's a really good way of looking at
Yeah.
it. Well, thank you very much for being with me today,
Well, thank
Patty.
you again for having me.
Wow, that was a great show. My name is Bob Taylor. I've been here today with my guest, Pattie Braga. I've been your host for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we talked Ventura Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much.